Alrighty, guys, and now we're with Russ Duggar. How you doing this morning, Russ?
I'm doing good, thank you. Yourself?
I'm doing pretty well. So, not a lot of people know exactly what you did prior to getting into NASCAR. We knew that I learned that you did a lot of music things with through college and school, and you also joined the Air Force. Can you just give us a little bit more on your background?
Yeah, it was a little bit of an unorthodox climb into the ranks of NASCAR. I went to the College of University of Arkansas in Fayetteville as a music education major, and then left the university for a career in music. Played the trumpet professionally for about 4.5, 5 years, and toured the world. Got to see a lot of places and meet a lot of great people, and served the country. And from there, while I was in the Air Force, I kind of started my racing career, just grassroots racing down in San Antonio, Texas, and basically set a goal that I wanted to make it to NASCAR, and started learning a lot about marketing, sponsorship inquiries, talking to a lot of CEOs, presidents of companies and corporations, and finding out what it is that they look for in the marketing programs. And one thing led to another, and I got an opportunity to test, and it kind of snowballed from there.
So I knew that you tested with the Chris Lafferty driver development program. Can you just tell our fans exactly how that works?
Yeah, I actually saw an ad that he had put out there, and responded to it and called him. And there's a test that he will, if you meet the qualifications in terms of, having some type of racing experience, and to each person his own on that, and Chris kind of decides that. But hang on just a second here. Sorry about that. I gave Chris a call, flew out to North Carolina, Hickory Motor Speedway, took a couple laps around that little historic racetrack in a seat stock car, and then hopped in back then the Craftsman truck, and did the test, and got together and decided to put some sponsorship together, and went to Daytona and tested later that year in an ARCA car. And then in 2008, we made our first start at Martinsville. And, it was a great opportunity with the Lafferty Development Program, specifically in terms of getting my licenses, getting my clearance through NASCAR, and able to race, on the bigger racetracks, because they make you start on the half miles and below.
And we see that you got hooked up with Mario Gosselin Racing with the 12 car. You ran about 3 or 4 races with those guys. How did that opportunity come up?
Well, a friend of mine actually knew one of the owners of a company that sponsors Mario, and introduced me to him, and he basically told me flat out that I really needed to get myself into one of Mario's race cars. And I'd see the world from a different windshield, if you will. And I did. We went in 2010. We went to Daytona in an ARCA car with Mario, DGM Racing, and tested really well. Then came back in February for the race, and we car drove fantastic. And that was back on the old Daytona Speedway. Was all real bumpy. We set the fastest lap of the race. We easily had the fastest car out there, and I knew it. But unfortunately, we got caught up in one of those famous accidents that happens in those ARCA events almost every year, and it snubbed our chances. But later that year, still in the ARCA series, we went to Kansas, qualified 19th, and that it kind of got away from me a little bit coming out of 4. So car was actually better than where we qualified it, but we were in the top 10 all day long. After a late pit stop, ended up finishing 12th, and found out that I really enjoy driving for Mario and driving his equipment. We went to Texas, And again, actually, we went to Texas before we went to Kansas, and Texas was my first mile and a half, and that was a trial by fire. But there again, I knew that I was happy driving for Mario and DGM Racing. Then last year we put some things together in the Truck Series. Supposed to have done more than what we did, but that wasn't any fault of Mario. That was a sponsorship deal. But we did 3 races, and again had a good time, and I had a little mechanical issue at Texas, and that kind of stank. But hopefully we can find some sponsorship and put some stuff together in the future.
And so with that, do you have anything just up in the air or set in the stone for 2013? Because we know that we haven't seen you at the racetrack in the first few races.
Yeah, I haven't been, and right now, Mario, I don't have anything on the schedule. I might do something later in the fall. I have got two different entities that we're working with right now that are both interested. One of them is extremely interested in 2014, and one of them might do some stuff later on this year in 2013. It's just all about the sponsorship dollar. And I don't want to put myself with an inadequate race team. I always want to be in good equipment. Mario provides that. There's a lot of other teams out there that provide good equipment as well, but a lot of it has to do with chemistry, and it's the chemistry aspect to where I get along with Mario and all the guys at DGM. So we'll just see what goes, but there's nothing on the calendar right now, unfortunately. But I'm still optimistic for later in this year and possibly something next year.
So since there's not a lot of stuff on the schedule for you, what are you doing with your free time? Are you doing some local racing, or are you focusing on something else?
Oh, I'm doing a little bit of local racing in my cart, and I've got 2 boys, and they're both doing some racing, so I'm spending some time with them, and just enjoying being able to be at home and be with them. I have my own business that I run as well, so that keeps me busy also. But trying to stay in the seat as often as I can, get on the simulator a little bit, just here and there.
Well, Russ, we wish you the best of luck from everyone here at the Racing Experts, and just thanks for talking to us.
Yeah, you bet. Appreciate the opportunity. Thanks for you guys and all your support of the sport.
All right, and we are clear.